If you're in the middle of a child custody fight in Illinois, one misstep can cost you more than just time. It can hurt your case, your finances, and even your relationship with your children. Did you know that a simple Facebook post, for example, can be used as evidence against you? Or that skipping a required mediation can delay everything? My name is Jeff Hughes, and I'm a lead attorney at Sterling Lawyers, and our 25 lawyers are focused on family law, and we see hundreds of cases every month, which gives our clients a huge advantage. In this video, I'll reveal the biggest mistakes that people make in documentation, court processes, and child-related matters, and how to avoid them. Whether it's forgetting to notify the court about a move or mishandling a financial disclosure, I've got the strategies to keep your case on track. Number one, documentation mistakes. Illinois judges put heavy emphasis on evidence, not just your word. You may know what you did, but if you don't document it, courts will give you little credit for your efforts. So here are three big mistakes to avoid. Not keeping good records of your parenting time. Illinois judges specifically look at the amount and quality of time you spend with your children. Keep a detailed calendar. This can be precedent setting. Second, ignoring financial disclosure requirements. Everyone must complete a financial affidavit in Illinois. Missing your deadline can hurt your case. You must provide complete documentation of income, expenses, assets, debts, and so forth. In Illinois, failing to disclose assets can result in serious penalties. It can completely devastate and destroy your credibility with the court. So disclose all of your assets. Don't play games with the judges when it comes to these things. If you get caught, it could be completely devastating to your credibility and to your case. Number three, being careless about posting on social media. Social media posts are admissible as evidence in Illinois and are frequently used in custody cases. So think twice before you post. It's best to avoid posting altogether. That's the best practice I advise my clients. Just don't post about your children, anything about your case, or what's going on during your case. It oftentimes can be misconstrued against you. You don't want that to happen. Number two, court process mistakes. What is a court process? It is a procedure that the court has laid out and is requiring all parties to follow. So remember, what you do in court plays a huge role in how the judge sees you as a responsible parent. So therefore, never skip mediation. In Illinois, mediation is mandatory in contested cases where there are children involved, unless it's waived by the judge. Now, sometimes the judges do waive these if they find that there's some sort of impediment to mediation, or there's really good cause or good reasons, such as domestic divorce or abuse, or if there's an active order of protection, like a restraining order involving one of the parties. Mediation through a court-approved and court-ordered mediator is designed to help both parents reach an agreement on parenting issues. That's why judges love these so much, because they can be so successful in helping parents reach an agreement. Therefore, the judge is not required to do that or spend valuable, expensive court time on this sort of thing. So that's why they send you to mediation, and they expect you to go and to follow it unless one of these exceptions is present and the judge agrees. Another one is showing up late or dressed inappropriately for court. So I often tell clients, when you're going to court, pretend that you're going for a dream job interview. Look your best. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a three-piece suit and buy all new formal gown or anything like that. That's silliness. But you do need to take the court process seriously by how you dress. That sends a message to the court. Now, courts don't penalize people who make an effort and they try to look their best and they try to look presentable, but maybe they don't have the fanciest clothes. That does not matter. But having on clothes, so ladies, dress modestly, cover yourself up. Gentlemen, you may be a hat wearer, some of you, but don't wear your hat to court, because the court's just going to say remove your hat. And then you may not like that result either. So show up to court looking your best. A lot of times that's a long sleeve shirt. Men, if you want to wear a jacket, that is fine, but you don't need to. Wear nice pants. Don't wear pants that have a bunch of holes in them that are dirty and just not well taken care of, look presentable. Pretend you're going to a job interview or a really good wedding and you want to look your best, okay? That's kind of the rule of thumb to follow when going to court. Another one is getting emotional in court. I know that's not necessarily part of a court process, but I don't want to overlook that here. So when you're in court, you're following the court process, stay professional. It may get personal. You may hear things that you are accused of that are just outrageous, painful even, untrue, damaging, and all of that. Stay professional. There is a time, there is a place, and there is a way to rebut all of that. But losing your cool and completely destroying your credibility in court because of your outrageous behavior will not help you. So stay professional there. Number 3, parenting time mistakes. Now in Illinois, we use the term parenting time instead of visitation. So you need to know that difference. Now you may hear me or others say, call that placement time or visitation, but the technical legal term that the judge will call it will be called parenting time. And you never ever want to deny parenting time to the other parent without a court order. If there's a court order for a parenting schedule, you better follow it. When you don't follow that schedule and you don't have a really good documentable reason for why you didn't follow that court order, the judges get very upset. They do not like to see that. And they can hold people in contempt. They can go so far as to throw a party in jail as a part of that contempt motion. So you don't want that to happen. Now that's rare, not trying to, throw out something that's completely normal. It is not, but it can happen. So when a parent denies parenting time for no good reason, the judges oftentimes react very aggressively. And at best, the party is going to lose credibility. At worst, they could be found in contempt. They could be ordered to pay attorney's fees, and their credibility is completely destroyed from that point forward. All right, another one is not communicating about important events or information that relates to the child. So if you know something important that happened at school, at the doctor, on the sports playground, or whatever, not communicating that to the party shows to the court sometimes they can view it as you not being a co-parent with that other parent. So share information, share it liberally, do it through your text messaging, do it through your emails, but document it as best you can and show that you are a cooperative, communicative parent. All right, another one is moving without proper notice. In Illinois, if you're moving within the state of Illinois, but more than 25 miles from your current residence in Cook, DuPage, Kane, Lake, McHenry, or Will counties, or more than 50 miles in the other counties, or moving outside of the state of Illinois, you must provide written notice at least 60 days before moving and file appropriate paperwork with the court to allow the other party an opportunity to object, okay? So that's how that works. That is what needs to be followed. That's the process. So don't violate that because you will, in all probability, be punished by the court. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. A fourth category is child-related mistakes. Now let's talk about mistakes involving your children. Involving kids in court matters. That's a big one. Don't involve your children in court matters. The judges don't look kindly on that. Illinois judges take a particularly strict view of parents who involve their children in legal proceedings or attempt to alienate them from the other parent. Judges know that is a form of child abuse. Don't do that. Now, there are certainly different extremes and variations of that. And telling a child, I have court today, that's all you need to know, we're doing our best, mom and dad love you, that is okay. But involving them in the details, certainly bringing them to court, that sort of stuff is off limits. Do not do that. Another one is making unilateral decisions that are important or involve important matters for your children, such as education, healthcare, religion, or extracurricular activities of the type that requires joint input. The judges want to know that both parents are communicating back and forth with each other and that they're not making unilateral on their own decisions, ignoring the other parent's input in these important major decisions for children. Now, as a part of this section, let me hit on something that's vitally important for all parties in court to know, understand, and do, okay? This is what matters most. The Illinois judges focus on one thing when it comes to children. That is the best interest of the child. They don't care so much about what you're interested in. They care about what is in the best interest of the child. The factors are listed in the statutes, and it is absolutely mandatory that every parent going through any type of custody battle goes and understands what those factors are, okay? They're listed in Illinois 750 ILCS. Okay, now this is the statute number. Write this down. 750 ILCS 5/602.5 to .7. So read all of the law when it comes to parenting time and allocation of parental responsibilities that is found in that law. So important to know the rule book when you're going to court. Okay, the fifth category of mistakes is not cooperating with the professionals. Okay, now that starts obviously with the judge. So whatever the judge says, you need to follow, you need to do that. But the judges also appoint other people, or they order you to meet with other people that are professionals involved with your case. I've already mentioned the mediator. A lot of times, if there's a fight over parenting time or parental responsibilities, then the court will appoint a guardian ad litem. A guardian ad litem is another attorney appointed for the best interest of the child. You need to cooperate with these individuals. If there's a social worker involved, or if there's a court-ordered psychologist or a therapist involved, you need to cooperate with these individuals. It is an absolute killer whenever these individuals have recommendations that parties blatantly ignore. You can't do that. Now you can hear them, you can disagree with them, and you can provide reasons why you disagree. You don't have to strictly follow if you don't believe it's in your child's best interest, but you better be prepared to go to court and explain in a coherent, reasonable way why you didn't follow that professional's recommendation. They're not gods, they're not set up to be judges, but the judges appoint them and they give those folks heavy weight when it comes to their recommendations and opinions. Another one is don't ever skip those parenting classes. Don't ever skip mediation. Don't skip the parenting classes. Do those right away. They're easy to do. A lot of times you can do those without having to physically go to the courthouse. You can do those online or some other way. Do those. Don't skip those. Okay, so the sixth category of mistakes is understanding legal compliance. Let's just get this right out there. Never, ever violate a court order, because you're telling the judge that you were ignoring the judge. The judge doesn't know what the judge is ordering, and you're just going to do something different. You can imagine judges do not respond well to that. They want their orders followed, and it's incumbent upon you as a party in court to follow that order, even temporary ones. They must be followed exactly. When you don't do that, you are exposing yourself to a significant amount of credibility loss and potentially punishment from the court for not following the court order. I have seen so many people get hit with attorney's fees and other fines from a court for not following a court order and requiring the other party to bring them back to court alleging contempt. I've seen parties found in contempt for not following court orders, and the range of remedies available to the judge is vast. You need to follow these court orders. Another one, when it comes to legal compliance, is mixing the idea of child support with parenting time. Those are two separate things. They are not dependent on the other. So when one party does not pay child support, that does not mean that they are not entitled to parenting time. So if you are the receiving parent and the other parent is not paying child support, you do not have the right to withhold parenting time. Those are two different things, and vice versa. Remember that. Those are separate things in the court's eyes. You cannot and should not mix those two. Follow the order when it comes to child support and follow the order when it comes to parenting time. Don't use them as excuses to violate the other one. Now, also when it comes to legal compliance, making major changes during a court action needs to be done with court oversight. So that obviously includes the moves. But I would encourage you, don't make any major changes for your jobs during the court action. Don't make any major changes to relationships that can complicate your case. Those are all important factors that bear on legal compliance. So just be thoughtful about relationships, be thoughtful about job changes, and certainly thoughtful about moves. Moves that can move you out of a school district, move you further away from a child and the child's community around them. Those are all very, very heavy, weighty issues to be considered during a divorce or a custody battle. Now remember, Illinois family courts focus on one thing, your child's best interest. Avoid these mistakes and you'll be in a better position to achieve a positive outcome for your family. What if you make 0 mistakes, but still end up in a bitter custody battle? Now don't miss this video here where we break down preparing your custody battle. Who gets custody? See you over there.